Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we have a nice and special one. It's going to be probably one of the best boards that I've built to date, especially for the price point of being like 130 bucks. This is the Bakeneko65 from Canon Keys. Instantly fell in love with the design and also the packaging. You know, look how neatly everything is in here. You got the stabilizers and all that jazz. Everything you need to fully build a board. This is not your typical DIY kit where you kind of just plug and play, put the switches and the keycaps on. You know, you have the JST connector cable, you have the daughter board. It's a little bit deeper into like the building process, so it's very interesting. The Bakeneko is wrapped in this nice white felt cloth that's also branded by Canon Keys, so just cool. Today we're going to be using the silicone weight for the Bakeneko. So the silicone weight isn't as heavy as the other option, which is zinc. The silicone weight actually provides just a little bit of more muted sound versus from sound tests online and other YouTube videos, the zinc is a little bit more pingy. So you get the weight from the zinc, but you get, in my opinion, a better sound with the silicone. Because this is powder coated, in terms of the application of the color, you will see some minor defects here and there, especially on the sides and the rim of the case. This board has a 6-degree typing angle and is actually very comfortable to type on. First things first, like we always do here on this channel, we always work on the stabilizers. We spend so much time on perfecting these, so we want to go ahead and lube them with 205G0 as always on the housing, and we're going to throw in some dielectric grease on the wires in a little bit. One thing that's really cool that I want to mention is that Canon Keys already pre-clips these stabilizers, so that kind of saves time and also helps really mitigate that rattle. So it's already nice and flush at the very bottom. So these actually aren't screw in nor plate mounted. These are actually, I guess you would call them clip-in PCB mount. They do require quite a bit of force. There is no, again, extra hardware. You kind of just snap them into place. So here we have 3 2U's and 1 6.25U for the spacebar. Today's build we're going to be using nice JWICK Blacks, Lube with 205G0. These are very clean, super smooth, and it gives that more clacky sound profile. So if you like that, for sure, definitely use these. These are a nice budget option, but they sound just as premium. Yep. So this mounting style is very different than most DIY kits, like especially for entry level or budget boards. This gummy O-ring goes around the PCB and the plate together. So ideally I wanted to just put in all the switches that are surrounding the perimeter so it fits in nice and flush, and then I just added everything after. Once the daughter board is screwed into the bottom and the JST connector cable is attached to that, you're going to want to get that beige housing that I pointed to and just connect it, and then there you go. That's what feeds the power. So once you do that, all you need to do, just make sure that everything's aligned. I did have a little bit of trouble just making sure that I didn't want the wires to be creased or cut or whatever. So just be careful of that blocker on the bottom right. You want to make sure to slide it in from the bottom inwards so that everything is nice and flush. I had a lot of fun building this one. It's very different than most DIY kits, and for the price point of like $135, I honestly think that you can't go wrong with this build, especially if you want a long-term build. Most people say it's premium, but at a budget, right? I know there's a bunch of boards out there that are coming out, such as the QK and the Zoo and the Zoom, right? So I'm hopefully getting all those boards as well, so I'll be kind of comparing each and every one and doing a video on each and every. So right now we're going to throw on some GMK Kaiju clones from AliExpress. This came with the full set, so it's compatible with all sizes of keyboards and all layouts. I took a long time trying to figure out what works best with the novelties. I actually came with a lot of them, so I tried my best to figure out what was best for the client. If you've made it this far, I really do appreciate it. Thanks so much for just sticking around throughout this video. This board definitely opened my eyes to different mounting styles in terms of the gummy O-ring, and you'll hear later on, this is probably the best board, at least feel and sound for me, my personal taste, around this price range. I know there's a QK, the Zoom, which hopefully I'll be getting later on and doing a review for and a build for, but for right now, if anyone ever asks for a keyboard, I definitely always will shoot them to the Bakeneko60 or 65. Hands down, probably, yeah, one of the smoothest and just nicest boards, premium wise, for this like low budget of like a little bit over $100. So yeah, I do like the feel of the gummy O-ring. As you can tell when I'm pushing down the keycap, it's a little flexy. It's not overly flexy, however, but this kind of introduces you into the space of the more premium style mounting styles of premium boards, and how, like, you know, other boards will sound like in the future if you start to kind of get further and further down in this rabbit hole. So yeah, this is pretty much the final build. I have I have a couple more videos that I still have to do, and yeah, just thank you guys so much for sticking around. I know it's not been consistent at all, and I can only promise so much, but what I can promise you is this sound test. So I know it's not the clack or the thok that you all love, but it's a very nice board and I recommend it to anyone. So if you have any questions or comments, please let them know below, and give me a like and a subscribe if you guys think it's worth it. Alright guys, see you later.